Greetings, and welcome to Channel Other Doc. Let me just check to make sure my mic is working. Yes, it appears to be working. The numbers are going up and down. That's a delight. I am Jim, your friendly Lacuna GM. I use he, him pronouns. And this is a development session of our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. Invisible Sun is a surreal slice-of-life game by Monte Cook Games. We are integrating the directed campaign, but most of this game happens spontaneously. This, again, is one of our development sessions, so this is just going to be one-on-one. And so let us introduce Anino. Hello.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns, and I play Mac the Husk, who uses they, them pronouns. They are an established enthusiastic of the Order of the Goetica who provides a vessel for spirits.
Excellent. And so, just as a reminder, real quick, whilst I'm assembling everything, like we do with most games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. So if we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, either of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or hold up a card, make an X symbol, and we'll go back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much, then everyone else can respond to that again with an X and N or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anybody needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may contain body horror, surreal imagery, spiders, snakes, and references to memory loss, death, and existential crises. And at any time, you can type !ISCW to see that come up in chat. I'm going to make sure that I've got that also on rotation so that it'll be coming up every now and then. Let me quick set that on a timer so that that will pop up periodically as we do this tonight. Please remember also we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. I see that we've got a bot offering us to purchase followers, so let's go ahead and take care of that. What a bargain! Hang on, let me fix that. Where are ya? I get ya. And we shall block and ban them. There we go. Okay, that's taken care of. Seems to be bot season lately. I've had a lot of those cropping up. So, yeah, we are back. This is the first Invisible Sun stream of the year. And when we last saw our Vizsla, they had made it back to Saturnine from the town of Yestervale. And then they all had a lot of things they needed to take care of. And so we're now going to be doing a series of these one-on-one sessions to kind of be able to sort of take a little breather in between the major main campaign stuff. And so, you know, these sessions are kind of a little more chill, but we also get, do more of a deep dive into individual characters. We sort of get to see what's going on with them. And so tonight we have Mac. So as I recall, there was to be some rent collection and then looking into goetic matters. So where do we find what shall we zoom in on? Where do we find Mac this evening?
I believe the first thing Mac would probably do is go check on his Jenga tower.
Yes.
See if there's a list of complaints that he has to address.
I'm sure there must be.
Make sure that it's still moving.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a good question. Let me go ahead then, and I'm going to use, once again, my favorite mechanic. I'm going to draw a card, and we'll see what's happening. Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. This is also the being our first stream back. I get to work out all the technical bugs. Whilst I figure out whilst I remember how everything goes. This card is number 58. Let me go ahead and pull that up here so that everyone can see it. All right. And that is the Angel. And let me go ahead and...
Oh, well, that is remarkably apropos.
It is, isn't it? Let me see if I can find... The word angel appears a lot in this book. Let me see if I can get there. There we go. So, we haven't had this in a little while. Its meanings are judgment, safety, assistance, light, and justice. No greater representation of goodness, light, or justice exists than the winged form of an angel from on high, left behind as a part of the legacy. They attempt to aid, to teach, and to protect. However, some angels also pass judgment. Their vengeance can be terrible to behold. Their anger is something no mortal ever wishes to experience. Thus, the angel represents both the open palm of altruism and the terrible fist of retribution. The angel is the defender of notions. Its light ensures that they are kept safe. In divination, one should take this opportunity to look for an ally, or at least shelter. Someone or something out there can help the person in question. The angel brings justice as it passes judgment. As long as one is not found wanting, this card turn suggests that external forces bring assistance to succor. Okay. So I think that, when you get back to the tower, that you're actually going to...
That didn't take long for you, Kat.
Well, it's how the internet is powered. We have to have them. It's vitally important. Excellent. Let me see if I can find real quick. You're gonna see. It's interesting. The tower is standing. It is still standing. It is not moving a lot. After going back and looking through, it seems you've been gone for probably about a week. That I think is the rough time frame, including the trip and the nights that you stayed down there. So it seems to be all right. You will notice that though, and this is kind of the interesting thing. That so that spirit is there, the sort of shifting Tetris piece spirit named Switch that is sort of there, is kind of revolving around, and you see that just for a bit, and you see that actually they are not alone. You are, let me see, which one of these shall I make it? There is an angel there, basically, is what I'm saying, who seems to be there sort of chatting with it. I think that I think this particular angel, because I'm trying to remember, there are several things I'm trying to remember here, but trying to decide if this is one of the ones you've run into before or if this is a different one. I think it's going to be. Yeah, it's like right next to. Yeah, it's right like this tower is right next to Shah. So yeah, we'll just say this is Djinnaya, the angel who you made the deal with. And presently, yeah, so it looks like a vase full of flowers when standing still. But right now they are out sort of flying up sort of where Switch is, and they're kind of conversing back and forth a little bit. And sort of will flap down and land, and is sort of like, you made it. You made it back all right.
Yeah, feels like I've been gone for almost 18 months.
Strange, yeah. And time is strange sometimes when dealing, especially with, well, things like that observatory. But yeah, no, I was just, well, it just sort of points to the mine. Down the way to the mine. I was heading in there in a bit, but I was just chatting with Switch here, just sort of trying to, and they seem to be all right this evening. They're not gonna, they're probably not going to give you any. It seems that they have a little bit of perhaps an antagonistic relationship with, well, a lot of folks around here. But that's kind of their way, from what I understand. It's understandable. But they're okay, is what I'm saying. This, they this year, they didn't have to do this for too long this time.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm. But you should probably go ahead and do whatever it is that you need to do to sort of make sure it's stabilized.
Oh, yeah, you'll see that Mac just raises his hands up. He doesn't really need to do it, but he tries to make a show out of it. And then he basically starts playing Jenga with himself in the tower.
So you only have to move one block, but you of course can do what you like. What do you?
No, he's going to keep moving them around.
Okay.
He's probably just going to think, which one's later? Which one's the latest in rent?
That would be the question, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the Jenga tower, like each block would have a different color based on the tenant's situation. Like if they were late, maybe the block would be red. Maybe if there was a problem with the house, it would be, a bright blue or something like that. So, he will actually take all the red ones out and shuffle them around a bit. And then put them on the ground floor.
Oh, nice. So you've actually instituted a system. The foreman didn't really have it quite that organized, so that's you've actually color coded them.
Yeah, we installed the color coding system. Maybe if one is like unoccupied or something, like derelict, it's like city skylines. It's just gray and dark and blah.
Yes.
Maybe he will crush it, or send it in to get crushed, and make room for a new block.
That is the way. That is the way of things. Yeah. So yeah, you move things around for a bit, and everyone you hear the occasional "ah" from inside as you're moving some of the things down, but it seems fine.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to hire another superintendent or something. You know what I think I'm going to do? And he's talking out loud to himself. I think that now that I am Goetic of the Third Order, I believe I'm allowed to have apprentices, or I'm supposed to tutor, you know, Goetics of the First Order. Maybe I can just get them to, volunteer their time at this place. I'm sure nothing can go wrong with that idea.
Yeah. And you just sort of, as they're heading away, you sort of hear Zinnia wonder, well, you wouldn't be the first to do that. And once you've moved things around enough for them to stabilize, then the switch will sort of drift off. It'll sort of be like wave part of an offshoot of one of the blocks at you, and it will just sort of start speeding off in the other direction.
Oh, right.
And do you check on anything inside, or do you just sort of stay outside with it?
I mean, like, Mac is just going to go get a change of clothes.
Yeah.
Freshen up a bit.
The only odd thing I'll mention here is that it seems as though there are a number of missives that have come in on the pneumatic tube system that all these cylinders have shown up that seem to be messages from Karen. Apparently there was and it depends on if you bother to look at them or not, but there's like they're labeled like yeah. Apparently there was a neighborhood presentation that was supposed to be happening, and so that's apparently what that's all about. She was organizing a presentation that happened like a few days ago, or probably a while ago now, and so that's it. That's you just see that sort of building up, that there was apparently there was a thing, and you were not there.
Oh no, that's a shame. We weren't able to go to presentation night at the homeowners association.
Yep.
We will toss that into the trash.
Yeah. Most of the messages look like they're probably the same thing. Do you actually read through them, or do you just toss them?
No, he will read through them, just make sure that he's not missing anything.
So the thing that you will note, the only other piece of information I'll say then that's really in there, is that it was supposed to be some kind of open house type deal. There was like this strange sort of neighborhood open house thing, and trying to entice people into this part of the neighborhood to get incorporation. And so that was kind of what it is. And it looked like she was doing it as there was like apparently there was like a picnic or something that happened that she was doing as a joint venture between the HOA and the Church of Stasis.
Church of Stasis.
Yeah. That's the there is a church that's just down at the end of the street. Well, actually, it's not exactly the end of the street. It's more to your west, more specifically. So, there's. It's that's right. It's the end of a connecting street. So it's this church that's down on a corner, that's like sort of directly west of you. That's like close to the home goods store and the bulk store.
Okay. Well, I hope she's not expanding her sphere of influence. And just so that he's not talking to himself, he's going to actually summon his familiar.
Okay. So Sagan will appear. And you're like, all right. Hey, boss.
Hey, just home. We're going to be doing some errands. And,
All right.
feel weird just going about by myself. So you're my company today.
Okay. Sure, no problem. I'm good. I'm good. I can certainly take care of that. Just looking around. Oh, you color coded it. That's good. You're coming out. And you're like,
Yeah. I think I'm going to have you go from block to block to collect some back rent.
Oh, I see. All right. No, that's certainly that shouldn't be a problem. You want me to go do that now, or are we just sort of, are we running errands first?
No, we're going to run errands first. We're going to need to go visit the Hall of Goetica.
Gotcha.
What they call it.
So yeah, you have a couple of locations. There is the you've got the hostel that's here, but then if you want to go to the Hall of Records, that's where you did your where you've been doing your ceremonies.
Yes.
And I can hopefully, heavens help us, I'm going to open another PDF. Let's hope everything's stable. Okay, the Goetic Hall of Records. And yeah, that is, let me see, let me look at the Fartown map really quickly. Did we ever figure out where everyone is? Not as far as this goes. We didn't.
Can I just step away for one quick second?
Oh, sure, no problem. Yeah, feel free. Yeah. So, yes, I find myself looking at a map of Fartown, and I'm wondering, did I put it into our system here, into our thing here? We did not. I should probably take care of that, so that can be a thing that folks can take a look at. I think also, whilst that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and draw another card so we see what fate awaits Mac at the Hall of Records. So, or at least something tied to it. What flavor it shall be. I think that's probably going to be appropriate. So let me go ahead and pull another card here. We don't really have the Path of Suns open right now because it's it's not it isn't it's not something we have to do for development sessions. We're just sort of wandering back and forth with things. Let me go ahead and open this one. This will be interesting. So it appears that the card that I have drawn is the Enveloping Darkness. So that's going to be very interesting when we hit that. All right, cool. Are we good?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. So you're heading through Fartown basically to the Hall of Records. You can walk there. It's not really too big a deal. If you want to do that. It is on the south end of Fartown. Sort of the southeastern portion. Not too far from the Inner Bleed. And as these things go, let me go ahead and open that up again, just as a quick reminder here. The foreboding appearance of the Goetic Hall of Records befits an order that spends more time talking to immortal beings than to mortals. The large Gothic structure has 5 towers, one of them is a clock tower, each decorated with carvings and statuary of leering demons, noble angels, and other spiritual beings. All the high-ranking members of the Goetic hierarchy maintain offices here, which includes, but is not limited to, every 6th degree member. Etc., etc. So, as I recall, I remember that this building tends to have vast libraries and other such things. So you're aware, the card that I have drawn as we are entering this scene, as it turns out, is the enveloping darkness. Which I'm sure will be fine. I'm sure everything will be just fine.
Doesn't sound like it.
I'm sure everything will be just fine. But as a reminder, its meanings are restriction, loss, and endings. Dark isn't an absence of light. Light is an absence of darkness. Darkness is the default. It moves in to fill any place the light abandons. The dark was the dark, capital D, was the totality of the actuality before the suns existed. And according to many, the dark will be the totality again once the suns are gone. The darkness is the end. It takes things. It takes us. It grabs, constricts, and overwhelms everything not warded by the light. In divination, the enveloping darkness portends an ending. Something draws quickly to a close. Endings aren't always bad, though, so this card turn can bring relief as an affliction or problem comes to an end. The card can also mean restriction or denial. The tendrils of the enveloping darkness can hold us fast and keep us from doing what we want. An end to freedom, so to speak. This card does not suggest death for the person in question, but it can suggest the death of someone involved in the matter at hand. So the spires of the of this building look, for some reason, slightly more menacing as you approach. So what are we heading in to do?
We are heading in to file or lodge a complaint against the fellow Goetic.
Ah, very good. So I imagine that there is most likely going to be someone you can talk to. Let me see here what we have going on here. Okay. Let me open up a few things so that I have it, so that I shall have it ready. I feel like they'd have someone who deals with internal matters. If you're a third degree at this point, then you're probably going to be able to get in without too much trouble to see someone who does that kind of thing. So what I'll ask is, you might be able to, let's see. Yeah. Might be able to bring this to, let me go ahead and open some things here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah, the images coming forth from this randomizer that I'm using is very strange. Okay. All right, I've got it. So you're going to end up seeing someone who is who I think is going to just someone who deals again with internal matters. I have not recently looked Now, I'm not going to hunt through. I'm not going to hunt through things right now to find the specific things, but we're going to say the individual that you are meeting. You are meeting with Thranos. That is a terrible name. And also sounds very much. Let's add a syllable to it, or change it around. Threnod. There we go. Threnod. Okay. You're going to be meeting with we'll just, for the time being, we'll just call them Thran. That'll make life easier for everyone. You're meeting with Thran, who is seems to be made of his basically his skin seems to be made of metal.
Okay.
Has this kind of these patterns that you can see of sort of like it's not exactly, they're not exactly spikes, but they're these sort of slightly sort of those and they come out a little bit sort of in the pyramid form all along. I'm trying to you ever see like their bracelets and their sort of jewelry things that you'll have these sort of metal sort of they're like sort of metal brads on them that are kind of square, and they'll come out like very tiny pyramids almost, but it's not quite that sharp. You know what I'm saying? Flat pyramids.
Yeah. Studs.
Studs. Thank you. I do not know words. So yeah, it looks basically, it's just sort of very the surface of the skin is very sort of metal studded, and you do note as you go in and you're sort of you see that there is a bit of motion around. People are just sort of there are not a lot of people in here, not as many as there were when you were here last. The few people that you see are all just sort of running with papers and things, trying to everyone seems to be in a little bit of a hurry. And they point you to Thran's office. And Thran is going to be up, like on the 4th floor. You've got kind of this. They're wearing this long, sort of leathery duster-like thing, and they're just sort of sorting through. They're like grabbing books and stuff from a back shelf and just sort of throwing it down and looking through things as you enter. And they sort of looks up, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, come in." It's
Mac will do so.
All right, and he sort of sets sort of the book aside, and he's still standing behind the desk. He's not actually he's not sitting down, but he just sort of looks up at you. Okay, okay, how can I help you?
I'm here to lodge a complaint against a fellow Goetic. I would like to find out more information about them, if you will.
I see. I see. You want to give me as he just sort of is looking, sort of narrowing his eyes. You want to give me an idea of what they did?
Attempted murder of me and my associates.
Okay, that's definitely serious enough to warrant attention. And he will open a desk drawer and he'll yank out some paper, sort of throw something down. He's got an ink quill that he dips a pen in, and will sit. All right. You have to forgive the general disarray today, sir. We've got we just heard about certain things that seem to be maybe possibly shaking loose, so we just got to be careful. So who's the so who tried to kill? So someone tried to kill you?
Yes, using spirits. A woman by the name of Hester.
Hester. Just writing it down. Hester. Huh. How long ago was this?
2-3 days ago, I believe. 2 or 3 days ago.
Right? Yeah, it was thereabouts.
It's towards the end of our visit there, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll say that they've been trucking with rather serious entities. One that I don't believe are approved of by our order.
There. Or is it one with a troubled name if spoken, or can you tell me who it is? The entity. You know?
Cicerus Queen.
Cicerus. He writes that down. Hester. All right. Let me. Rings a bell. Let me actually check something. He stands up. Goes over. How'd you try to do it? You say spirits, yeah?
Yes.
What?
Floating eyeballs, I believe.
Floating eyeballs. And so he'll sort of flip through as he's looking for this information. Let me see. As even as the game master flips through to the appropriate the appropriate thing. Let's see. The Gulch. There it is. Okay. Let me see. Is this it? Okay. So he'll reach over and just sort of thud down a book. He says, "See, we're getting reports. So we're getting reports of all manner of these kinds of things that are sort of showing up. Last day or so. So we're just trying to make sure that this isn't just, it's, sometimes, around this time of year, things there'll be a surge sometimes, but it's a little unusual for a lot of it to come all at once, and so we're just so you have to forgive me, a little short staff today, so I'm able to do all my own looking through things. And he opens a book, he flips a few pages, and he sets it down, and he says, "Is this what she used?" And you see it's a floating eyeball that looks very much like, with sort of a trail behind it. It looks very much like the ones that attacked you all.
Yes, this is it. Don't think I've quite seen it before.
Yeah. Yeah. These are nasty pairs of work. The Despair Seekers. It's usually you can't get enough of them together to do anything too real and lasting, unless you're particularly powerful or you got some secret or other. Do you know about how many of them she threw at you? And
there was a lot. There was I want to say between 20 and 30.
Right, well, that definitely makes a priority here, but and unfortunately, so that's not unusual given what we've been hearing. Okay. He says, just sort of looks at it. And he will, he's gonna go over and, 20 and 40, that's ridiculous. So she's working for a creature called the Sistrurus Queen, right? Okay. And so he starts pulling some more documents. He sort of looks in a file for a moment until he's like, as he's sort of flipping through. Do you happen to know? Do you happen to know at all where she was? What area she was working in before she started doing this? All of this.
Well, we encountered her in Yesterville.
And have you seen her around? Have you seen her around before or anything? Do you know her?
I don't know her personally.
All right. Hester, and he's
what irks me about it.
Flips through. But she told you her name, evidently. And actually, I will say you did recognize. You had seen her in the. You did see her at the hostel once. But it was a while ago.
Was it? Okay.
It was very briefly. He's sort of looking through, and he will eventually pull out this this file, which he will set down. He will look at it. He will open it up. Okay, Hester. Yeah, here we are. And he will sort of look. He doesn't have a picture, but there's a description, and he looks it over, and he sort of asks you a little bit, and it does match the description, so you figure that out. And sort of look at it, and like, all right. So she left us, it seems. Quite recently, I think there'd been some suspicion in some of her with some of her trainers that she was trying to contact things that were that she shouldn't have been. It says here. So, yeah, it looks to me as though. Yeah, they, that it could have been in there toward the, one of the last couple of times she was up here, which was not all that long ago. It's a few months. But, the trainer said she just walked out and never came back.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, she had sort of the standard something that you see a lot in especially in younger goetics, where she was not at all was not interested in taking her time. She wanted shortcuts, it looks like. Apparently did a lot that concerned her. But they didn't, that she wouldn't talk to anyone, and then eventually she started talking to some of the She apparently she would it looks like the only folks that she would talk to for the most part around here are some of the demons that she would summon, which that's always a nice sign.
Well, I don't see anything too wrong with that.
I mean, fair, but still got to communicate with folks. All right. So it looks as though she's. It looks as though she might have. She may have left the order proper. So I don't think any sort of the usual discipline that we would apply here would mean much to her. But we can definitely put an alert out to everyone about her. I gotta say, there's a chance it might take a little time to get that out because we've got sort of things flooding with flooding with all these void demon reports, but
void demons.
After a bit, it's going to probably. Oh yeah. Are you not here? No, here. He reaches sort of underneath a paper on his desk. He pulls it out and he hands you this bulletin. That apparently it says that there are reports that one of the demons of the dark, one of the demon princes, one of the demon lords is on the move, and there have been several reported sightings of minions, which look very much like apparently their lord. Is sort of looking like this sort of hurricane-ish vortex, showing up and just sort of essentially, there apparently have been some goetic summonings that they've been sort of messing with, and so that's kind of one of the why it sort of came to their attention, and so they're doing what they can about protections and sorting things out for that. So that seems to be kind of what's a thing that is taking up a lot of their attention right now. Yeah, let me go ahead and try opening this other thing. Heavens help us. Just to see if there's an additional detail in here. That I might want to use. Right. Okay. All right. So he says, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get this kicked up to Carter to see if there's something he wants to do about this. I think at the very least it just sort of will depend. I assume you're. I mean, we can have a band, certainly. I think, on this, they may want to ask you. They may want to ask you a few questions after, just for confirmation on some of this. But this looks fairly open and shut as far as this goes. As far as it is, if there's, we can try and see what we can try and see if anything turns up, and we'll tell folks to keep an eye out. As far as that goes, was there anything further you were looking for with this?
No, that is it. I just wanted to make sure that folks were aware.
Well, I do appreciate that. We do appreciate that. We do appreciate that, as we're just trying to make sure things are. Can I get? Oh, I'm sorry. Just been such fuss around here. I've just forgot to ask. Could I get your name? In case we need to recontact you about this.
Mac the Husk.
Right. All right, Mac. And he sort of writes that down. So yeah, and he'll hand you his card, and he'll say, I'd say give this a day or two if you want to see if there's if you want to check in on the follow-up. You can contact me via the Noosphere.
Sounds good.
But I'll definitely see, we'll definitely see that this gets circulated. Provided Carter's good with everything, then I think we should be all right.
Okay, and Mac is just going to stand up and adjust his cuffs. But he's going to take the notice about the demons.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I'll definitely have that there. I'm just trying to check in here and see if he'll also just basically say, in the meantime, we are gonna see if we can get someone, and if we can free someone up, we'll see if we can look into anything about this Destroyer's Queen, and if there's some sort of connection, if we can find out more about her current capabilities, because clearly she's summoning more than she should be able to.
Right. Well, I guess it's up to us to do our own part.
He nods.
And he's just going to step out without another word.
Okay. Yeah, no, he goes back to trying to track things down in his notes. All right, so you have made your report. You step out back into the hall. What would you like to do now?
Oh, that went nowhere.
Sagan's just sort of
Sagan.
Yeah. No, yeah, it looks like the guy was swamped. What was he? What should he have been able to do, do you think, about this? What were you looking for here?
I was going to see if I could track down Hester.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going. He says, "Yeah, I think they're going to try, but it's probably going to be a little while with all this void demon stuff going on, apparently."
Yeah. I wonder if this is related to Shantano's thing.
He shrugs. He shrugs his raven shoulders.
Yeah, probably. What am I thinking?
Wouldn't surprise me. Sharpening his beak.
Well, I guess go about our business. He's going to exit the or make his way out of the Goetic Hall. Although, if he's just going to peer around, look to see if there's anything interesting that's going on.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna draw a card. Okay. Oh, well, from the looks of it, probably. Let me see. Okay, this is card number 32. I have drawn the Ghostly Presence.
Damn it.
Let me... Its meanings are the past, guilt, unresolved issues. We all have our ghosts. They haunt us both metaphorically and, of course, literally. We can become weighed down by our past sins, our unrequited feelings, our unresolved issues. As humans, we crave closure, but is such a thing ever truly possible? The Ghostly Presence suggests that it is not. There's always something from our past that will arise later to remind us of the wrongs of long ago. In divination, something from the past, perhaps something forgotten, arises in the present. The most typical interpretation is that this ghost from the past will give the person in question trouble, but it's possible that the reminder of the past is not entirely negative. Wow. Okay. Okay. I have a thing I kind of want to plug in here. I just have to figure out how... I just have to figure out the application. Let me see. Right. Right. I have a thing for this. Wait, let me... I have to find the document. It's very important. Let's see. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. There it is. Okay, okay. Interesting, okay. So, I think that a thing that that will probably happen as you are sort of casting about. Is that you see that someone actually has there's a bit of scrambling in sort of one of the chambers as you're sort of heading down, yeah, okay. I just realized the thing that I should have plugged in earlier. No, too late. All right. As you're heading down, that it seems like they have. There seems to be quite a bit of a buzz of activity around one of the what looks like a room that is used primarily for summoning and containment.
Okay.
It looks like they actually have one of these void demons trapped inside one of their circles, but it's taking sort of several of them sort of standing around, sort of keeping it in, as they're sort of trying to see. So there are like half a dozen goetics in this room, that are kind of sort of standing around sort of constantly, and like they're like 4 of them constantly are standing outside of the circle, trying to just sort of do something ritualistic to keep it from getting out. And again, it looks like a sort of a little kind of a miniature hurricane. It seems to be sort of in the trapped in the middle of the thing.
Little mini hurricane. Do you want like a twister?
Yeah, kind of. Let me, in fact, just because apparently I don't have enough PDFs open. Here, let me do this. Let's see. Yeah, it's sort of a mind-bending curl of uneven surfaces and broken geometries. Is kind of what you're seeing, just sort of curling about in this sort of the winds. There's sort of this little vortex that appears. And as you see them kind of doing that, you will see, yeah. You'll see kind of these eyes that will, that seem to sort of appear, these sort of glowing points that look kind of like eyes within it, as it sort of stares, sort of looks out at each of them. You can see that you can see sort of and sitting off to the side actually is Abernathy. Charles Abernathy will stand up. Again, sort of an older, for folks who may remember, sort of older gentleman, just very sort of scholarly looking, salt pepper hair. He gets up, sort of his very, very nice sort of suit and cane right now that he's carrying. He sort of looks up, comes over. Mac! He's come to look at today. Come to look at today's general disasters.
I came to report one of my own, but don't think I've ever really seen a void demon before, so thought I would go in and see what we can do about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so looking, I think they're trying to decide whether we're going to try to, it's the difficulty you see is, that some of them seem to be trying to wring information out of it. I think we should just send the damn thing back, because, the more you talk to these things, sometimes the more that they can get into your head, especially this one.
No.
They're sort of interrogating it.
Wave to the void demon.
The void demon will kind of lock eyes with you for a moment. And you hear this voice that I'm not going to try to reproduce in the same way as last time because it hurt when I did this voice last time. So we're going to get close. It says, husk. My master has heard of you.
Can everybody else hear this too?
They don't seem to.
You see Mac just glances around, and then he's just going to answer in his head, oh, well, that's comforting to know.
You are one of the, you're one of the ones. You're one of the ones. Maybe you're going to find out. Maybe you're going to find out. Maybe you're going to find out again? You knew before. You don't know now, but you knew before. You want to find out again?
Depends on how much it's going to cost me.
Don't suppose you'd give someone a ride, would you? A vortex in need?
No, not to you. I actually care what these people around me think about me.
Ah, pity. Pity. Pity, pity. You never used to, apparently. That's what the master says. But you don't want to know, you don't want to know.
I'm fairly certain I can figure it out without your help.
Well then. Maybe just a little push then. See where it leads. And you can see them starting to chant more, and you see Abernathy going up to one of the ones who's getting ready to leap in, is sort of saying something to him, where it's just like, we need to end this. Get this right now. As because the circle is sort of pulsing a little bit, and you can see that as you are doing this, there's sort of a couple of alarms go off, as it seems like it's just sort of, it's not exactly expanding, but it sort of is. It's like the funnel is getting much wider. It's not growing exactly, but it's like they're having a little trouble containing it. Things are shaking. You see a few books are falling off shelves. Its eyes are still locked on you, and you hear it say, "Let's give you maybe just a little taste of doom. See if you can ignore it." And a few of the papers start swirling around the room a bit, as you can start, the wind is picking up inside the room. and the door opens. It's kind of as though it's just being pulled open by these winds a little bit. Everyone's sort of, they're not having too much trouble staying standing, but they're starting to chant harder, and Abernathy is now like, he's sort of joining in to try to send this thing away.
Yeah, I think I think that Mac is going to see if he could channel some sortilege to aid in removing or binding the void demon.
Okay, excellent. So again, this is development mode. I'm just gonna draw another card real quick just to kind of see how this feels. And but yeah, you start contributing. You're throwing this at it to sort of help out as they're like things are sort of swirling around. Actually, yeah, why not? Why not? Why not indeed? Would you like to roll something?
Sure.
Let me open this one. This is one of the servants. So this particular thing, okay, this slice of the enemy of reason is level 4. It has +2 to resist. So its challenge would be 6. This you have like a host of other goetics here, basically containing it. So this isn't going to be too difficult, necessarily. This is more to sort of just kind of trying. What sort of approach are you taking for your part in this? Are you wanting to more sort of like engage it, keep it distracted, or are you trying to just sort of force it back with everyone else? Is there a particular strategy you want to employ here?
I think he's going to want to reinforce the efforts of the goetics that are binding it.
Okay.
Sort of like plug any holes or gaps in there. In there.
Okay. That being the case, that's not going to be too difficult. I'm actually just going to go ahead and knock that down then, given that we've already got 4 of these guys around here that are doing the main chanting. I'm just going to knock this back down 4, and you're helping them out. I'm going to knock it down to a 2. So this is, and if you're spending sortilege, so you're going to be rolling 2 dice. And so you're just looking for a 2 or better.
Oh my fucking god.
You get a second die, remember. So that's a 0, but then you have, okay, a 5. So thankfully, first off, that wasn't flux because that was the first die. But yeah, so you're sort of, trying to, you're helping out, and it's slowly, as this happens, you see, as sort of the door is open and Abernathy just sort of is waving his cane in its direction. He's sort of yelling for a moment as you see a few people passing outside. One of them is Thran. And he's sort of so he just sort of waves. Thran just sort of turns and he sees you and he sees Abernathy. He sees what's going on and he runs in and starts helping as well. He's got like a bundle of these. He's like got a bundle of these papers under his arms, but he comes in for a moment and tries to help too. Again, the papers that have been flying around the room slowly they stop. You can see the containment starts to get reestablished, and then eventually, for a moment, as this demon is sort of looking at you, and its image is wavering, it's wavering, growing smaller and smaller, and as it just sort of again its eyes boring into you, it will say, "Well, let's see how it goes this time around. Let the games begin." And then it vanishes as they manage to send it away before it can do any more damage here.
Well, that was exciting.
Absolutely, absolutely, my dear fellow. Oh, God. And he's sort of turning around. And Thran just sort of nods and is like slowly picking up some of his papers, and he's turning and he's walking out. You will note that something drops from one of the folders he's carrying, and seems to have been buffeted out by, you know, some of the winds when they were there, and so it seems to have just sort of fallen out. It looks like it's a photograph.
Mac will pick it up.
You look at the photograph?
Yes.
The photograph looks like it must have fallen out of Hester's file. Or some file that he sort of was picking up. And there weren't any photos on top of it, but apparently there was something buried underneath. So it looks like Hester when she was considerably younger, with what looks like this photo is from a little while ago, with a couple of people, sort of a couple standing behind her, and then off to the side is another girl. About in this picture, Hester looks like she's probably like a teenager. And next to her, there's another girl who looks like, you know, is a mid to late teenager. And you have seen this person before. You actually recognize this other girl that's in this photo. You recognize the face anyway. She looks different. Because in this photo they are dressed well, all of them. They're dressed in like it's sort of a Sunday best type deal. Yeah, this woman that you see, this girl that you see in this photo, you think, because it takes you a second, but because the face rings a bell, you think this might be this lady that you ran into when you were looking for Limerence Street, whom you recognized, but you weren't sure where you recognized her from. You went into her apartment. She has an apartment block that she either lives in, possibly runs. And she showed you into the back downstairs room, so you could examine the wall, and that's where you found Thomas, if you recall. Her name is Ritika, as you recall. The person in this photo, it looks a lot like her. The person in this photo has hair. Ritika, when you met her, did not. She was bald. And she was just wearing sort of more, you know, like a kind of a sort of a jumper type. Well, not a jumper. It was a sort of overalls type deal, I think. Sort of wearing browns. It's very casual.
Okay. Oh. I think this is happenstance, Sagan.
The timing is a little suspect. I don't know how much of anything is happenstance these days, given everything that's been going on.
I certainly don't like being led around
Could be.
the way we have been. All right. Well, I guess we can head on down to Limerence Street. Haven't been there in a while.
Fair. All right. So, yeah, certainly. Do you do anything else at the Hall of Records?
No, I think we've done enough here.
Yeah, they're starting to clean up. Abernathy will thank you for helping out. It's like we need to catch up soon sometime. And see what's been going on, that kind of thing.
Oh, of course.
Tells you to give his best to the others. You start heading toward Limerence Street. I am going to need just a moment, so if would it be all right if I send us to break for just a couple minutes, or just a few minutes or so?
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, I'm going to take a really quick break, and I will be back, and we will be back in just a few moments. We will see you shortly. Greetings, we have returned. And we are now going to check out Limerence Street, I believe is the next thing on the agenda. First piece of good news, it is still there. You will note.
Hooray. Our work remains.
Yes. It, as it turns out, it's okay. Let me see if I have the, yes, I still have the map. Here, I'll show everyone the map real quick. I can use it again. You're up there. You're up there on Limerence Street. That has the big column in the middle with the statue. Again, you'll sort of head up, and one or two people wave at you. One or two people you don't know wave at you. As you're heading up.
Is it Axton? Is
Probably.
Is that Axton? Okay.
As you're heading up, you'll sort of turn down the finding that same building again, that same apartment block is a little weird because now it's actually where it's supposed to be. And like the whole building is there now. It was only half a building before.
Crazy.
Before it just sort of ended and then a pizza kitchen started. But you do turn down, I think it's toward Dullahan Street. You turn that way and you find that same door that you came to a while back when you were out here scouting around before.
All right, so Mac will just knock on the door.
Okay. I guess I should probably draw a card at this point. That would probably be a good idea. Let's do that. Okay. This card is one that I only ever show briefly. And like, I don't know, it's one of those things where you have to be even just, yeah. Okay. So once again, I'm going to give a content warning just before I show this image. For anyone who has issues with spiders or eye-related things, you may want to look away for just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and display this card for 5 seconds, so that folks will see that I have drawn the card that is called the Harvesting Spider. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and there we go. It's gone again. Oh, may feel free to look back at the screen if you if you needed to look away for a moment there. So yes, the card that I have drawn is the Harvesting Spider. And its meanings are action, labor, and stealth. Spiders are so many things: builders, weavers, and caretakers, but also hunters, killers, and blood drinkers. The Harvesting Spider cares for her young, but at the expense of what she harvests, and that just might be you. She is stealthy and sneaky. Her many footsteps are silent. Regardless, spiders never stop working. They build and create to serve specific purposes. In divination, as terrifying as this card appears, its meanings are more esoteric, but still significant. The always active spider signifies action. Act immediately. Work hard. Success can be had, but only as the result of action and toil. The Harvesting Spider is also a subtle hunter, and thus can suggest that stealth might be required in one's endeavors. Okay. So you knock on the door. You hear there's sounds like hammering and such coming from inside. And you knock on the door, and after a moment, you hear, "Just a minute!" And you hear there's a certain amount of shuffling going on, and then the door opens, and you see Ratika again. She is dressed now. She is wearing sort of a shawl today. And the weather around here stays mostly something I finally realized, by the way, upon reading as reading the books finally, as I have been, as I'm slowly getting through them, is that apparently while Saturnine and the Indigo has regular seasons, apparently Fartown always is experiencing autumn. This is something I did not fully realize before. So everyone generally dresses for autumn. So that being the case, so she's wearing a shawl, and again she's wearing sort of earth tones again, sort of browns, and a sort of brown sort of shirt that she's got. She's got her sleeves rolled up, and trousers, and you look sort of behind, and you can see behind her in the apartment complex. There's like a ladder set up, and there's some people in there hammering away at things. They're sort of working. There appears to be some redecorating or not redecorating, remodeling going on a little bit. And she looks over. "Hello, Mac, right?"
That's right.
"Oh, it's good to see you. I think I remembered a little bit more. Possibly, we'll have to see. Yeah, we're sorry, we're working on doing a few upgrades. We got a few more people wanting to move in. We found a few more rooms that for some reason just hadn't been filled for a while. So we got that happening. Do you want to come in?"
Oh yes, that would be great. Thank you.
"Sure, yeah, no, I've got," and sort of will wander in. She'll come and she says, like, "We've got, She stops for a second and talks to one of the people working, folks in overalls, just sort of hammering away. You're not. These are probably thought forms, actually. Now that you get closer, and she starts heading up. She actually starts heading up the stairs. She says, "Yeah, come on." So you'll follow her up, presumably to an apartment. This apartment it's interesting because it looks a little bit cluttered, but there's a lot of stuff in here that is very nice. They're like they're like antique lamps and very nice sort of kind of there's like an oak dining table, and it's fair. It's kind of looks a little sort of Victorian-esque, kind of, the apartment does. Okay. Yeah. So she says, "I've got she says, I think I've got some as you're heading over, do you want something to drink?"
Oh, some tea would be great. Thank you.
"Tea, I've got tea." Says, I think I've got some tea around here somewhere. I've got, I also have, I've also got some lager if you would like some of that. She says she just sort of heads over, into her kitchen. And says, "Yeah, I've had some brewing for a little bit now, so this should actually be about ready." And the necessary sounds are happening where she is pouring tea. And she will come out to the table with tea and a few little sort of wafers that that shine prettily when they catch the light. And hang on, I need to add shining wafers to the recipe list. And you'll set down this tray. And there's these nice sort of sturdy oak chairs, and she sits in one. And she says, "Now then, it's good to see you. Is this a social visit, or are you, or can I help you with something?"
Well, I'm doing a little bit of investigating, and I was hoping you could answer a couple of questions about a person that I believe you may or may not know.
Oh,
and
have you remembered?
No, I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Aside to Sagan, it's like, what am I supposed to be remembering?
Yeah, you got me. I don't know what the hell she's
Where'd
talking
you hear
about.
that?
I mean, I know that you kind of recognized each other. That's all I know about them. I don't think you said anything about stuff you're supposed to have remembered. She just wasn't sure where she knew you from.
Okay, that's fine.
And so she was saying, and so she's just sort of looking at you. "I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. What was it you wanted?"
Yeah, he's just gonna pull out the photo from his inside coat pocket and slide it over. I'm trying to track down this person.
Oh my God. Where did you get that? She suddenly heard, sort of like the color drains from her face when she sees it, and she sort of leans back, looking at it.
I got this from the Order of Goetica Files.
And you can see that she's kind of, she's just sort of looking at it. And she's like, "Mac, I'm sorry, I don't know if I can help you with this." Well, clearly she knows something.
Is there a particular reason why you don't think you can help me with this?
Kind of complicated.
Well, the reason why I'm trying to track down Hester is that she tried to murder me. So,
oh no.
I need to find out why and who she's working.
God, no. Okay, there is... I feel some convincing that needs to go on here. Just a wee bit. Now, Ratika is level 8. But, the fact that you've shown her the photo, I'm going to go ahead and we can use that as an asset to knock things down a bit. So it would be down to level 7. Is there anything else you would like to throw at this?
So Mac is secretly going to channel Spirit of the Orator.
But of course.
Yeah. I gave 3 enhancements to my interaction pool.
Okay. So, let me actually check something real quick. Because I want to make sure I want to make sure I got this right. I found the place in the book faster than the search did. Yeah. So, as a reminder to me, does that just basically give you three additional bene to the interaction pool, or is that
3 enhancements? I don't know whether 3 enhancements is that bene.
Stand by. Stat pools. Note that the value of the pool is not measured in bene, but in enhancements. These enhancements can be used with any action. It is possible through the effects of magic to gain enhancements in other pools as well as bene in that case. Those enhancements can be used only with the pool that they are in. An enhancement. Oh, here we go. I think. Benny pool can use and the characters on one timing as 1 Benny adventures 2, blah blah blah. Used for reactive actions. Well, okay, an enhancement can also be used with any action relevant to that pool. An enhancement adds +1 die to the action. If you have enough extra die, you might just want to use them as an... Okay. So... Yeah, so an enhancement is not necessarily a bene from what I am seeing here. Once again, as we continue to learn the system ages later. Let me actually check this. Sortilege can enhance with any rolls and sortilege cannot be used if another die is already added from an alternate enhancement. So you've got like 3. It's going to give you up to 3 additional dice. It says. Basically.
Oh, okay.
This is the first time that I have actually bothered to look. Well, it's not the first time I've bothered to look, but the first time I've actually dug into it. But yeah, an enhancement adds +1 die to the action. So you could, if you want to use it all on this action, it's up to you if you want to do that, but you've got up to 3 dice you could add, basically, from the way that it looks to me.
Yeah, no.
This.
I would like to use it on this specific action as opposed to more dice.
Sure. So, yeah, so what this means is that you can, you get more chances, basically. So that it doesn't reduce the difficulty, but you get more chances to hit it. So right now we've reduced it to about 7. Is there anything else you want to throw at this?
These tabs keep multiplying. Where's my where's my sheet? Here it is. Let's see. No, I think that's. I guess we're gonna roll a bunch of dice because
Well, we
I don't
can.
have anything else here that would help.
Trying to think if there's like, anything else situationally we want. You've got the spirit of the. Yeah, I mean, well, at least you know you've got multiple chances to hit a 7. And I mean, so I think we can. Are there any other? Let's see. I'm trying to think if there are any other situational.
Can I reduce it by 1 just using one of my interaction, Bene?
I think so. Let me see. As in pools, as well as to gain enhancements, as well as by Benito can be used with any action relevant to the pool, plus 1 of the action. I think so. There's so many things. I think, I'd say you could go ahead and do that. So that would break it down to 6. You want to do that?
Okay. So I'm rolling 3 dice.
I was thinking that also, just given that you had the photo as an asset, but also I'm gonna add that because you took the time to come in and she kind of wants to help you, I will knock it down 1 more to a 5. So you'll need 5 or better on these dice. And you can have, like, I guess up to 4 dice on this.
3 dice, right?
Okay. Well, it's your regular die and then 3 enhancements if you want. Yeah, so you can roll like 4d10. Okay. So you're not going to find out nothing, but that is a roll. So
that is unbelievable. That would be great for Scion, but not here.
So
usually dice are kind to me.
Yeah. So she's going to say, I'll tell you what. I want to help you. I'm not going to be able to tell you everything, but can I have the photo?
If you don't mind me sketching it first.
Can you leave?
I am just going to sketch.
Can you leave?
I'll just sketch.
This girl out of it, she says, pointing at herself.
Oh, yeah.
The image of herself, yeah. I just don't want... I used to be someone else. And it was not good. It was not good at all. Okay? And I just don't want there to be... I don't want things like this floating around. You know?
That's fair.
So, I mean, you can sketch these 2 people, and you can sketch her, she says, pointing to Hester, but not her, she says, pointing to, again, the image of herself. Okay?
That's fine. Mac is just going to cast his sketch spell.
All right. Do you do as she asks, I think is the question. with the sketch spell.
No, I mean, she's right there while I'm doing it. So
so she'll be able to see. Okay.
I can't really describe it.
Yeah. She just wants herself to be left out of the photo image. So she'll say, so obviously it's been a long time. But Hester was trained by there were some great expectations that that were on her, and she followed them kind of to a T. And from what I understand, she was more ambitious even than the people pushing her. And it was... It does not surprise me, I'm afraid. Well, it upsets me, but it does not surprise me that she tried to kill you. I had hoped she was gone, but apparently she is not. Where did you run into her?
Yesterville.
Yesterville. Where is that?
It's about how long was that train ride again?
It was like about, it was supposed to be 3 days. It ended up being 4 days. To the south.
It's about a 3 days train ride south.
Oh. Okay. Oh, that's way down there. The hell is she doing down there?
I could tell you, but I don't think you want to get too involved.
You're right, I don't want to get too involved. How can I help? What do you want to know about her? I mean, I knew her a long time ago, so I don't know how useful my information is going to be, but I'll tell you whatever, anything that might, I guess, be relevant.
Does she have any usual haunts? Or were there particular places that were meaningful to her, that were important to her?
Well, there were she was always, I can tell you, interested in sort of forbidden things. So she would go down to, she would, I know from fairly frequently she would go down to the Undersling from time to time. I think she liked that... Trying to remember. Oh, yeah. Trying to remember if it's... And let's see. So, sometimes she would like to go down there. She loved that... She loved that, that sort of pub. Zeros. Have you heard about it? There's this rumor that the pub is a demon. She liked that place a lot. From what I recall. Tried to learn as much as she could about, breaking outside of what, would normally have been allowed, because she wanted so badly to try to please the people training her. So yeah, she was looking to take as many shortcuts, I think, as she possibly could to try to become more powerful. Did she hurt you?
No.
Good.
Just A little irritated. She also disgraced brunch.
Oh. Well, that's certain. Well, that's a travesty then. Damn.
It really is. She was working in conjunction with some fellow named Blaylock.
Huh. Huh. Balak?
You know
Blaylock.
Blaylock?
That name does ring a bell. That name does ring a bell. She might have a little bit. Oh, this is a while back. I think, yeah. I think that's the name of the, yeah, that's a guy she started seeing roughly at about the same time that you, well, some people are a little tricky about what they want to remember and what they don't. I don't want to go and tread on anything that you don't want to. It was before the war. I think she started seeing him.
Really?
Yeah. And yeah, there was that's what I'd heard. I wanted by that point like nothing to do with her or any of the other people in that picture. But you hear things sometimes, right? And yeah, from what I remember hearing, I think Blaylock was an apostate. Liked doing weather magic, I think. Wow.
Weather magic.
Yeah, he was very impressed with himself from what I heard. Some folks. I heard that he actually, he had tried to make a splash at some point, and with doing, being able to summon clouds and lightning and stuff, and one time, and Lady Volt put him in his place, like she does. And I guess the two of them must have left town not long after that. Because, he probably was embarrassed as hell. And rightly so. But yeah, from what I remember and from what I think must have happened more recently. Yeah, and this was more recently, by the way, that when I think they left town, this was just within the last few months. Is there like... I might be able to dig up something of hers if it will help you. I don't know if you do that kind of magic or not these days.
I could figure out or find someone who could.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I might be able... I think I might have something. It's... And she stands up and she looks over. Wow. And she just sort of looks at you and she just sort of shakes her head a little bit. I'm sorry. I don't know kind of what you're... Are you okay with hearing about things from before, or do you prefer not to hear about it? About yourself?
I mean, that is part of my journey, at any rate. Trying to figure out who I was, and I think it's important that I do, in fact, because I know there's at least one other person who is out to kill me, and I'm trying to figure out how it all ties together.
Oh. Okay, well, I haven't remembered a lot, but, I do remember that it is kind of weird to me that you ended up as a goetic. That you've ended up as a...
Why is that?
She says, gesturing to your pin, and she's like, well, weren't you... I seem to remember something that we had in common was that we were both apostates, but I can't remember the context. I can't remember anything about it. Was like came up briefly in a conversation, I think. It was she's thinking. I think it was when V was introducing you. You remember V?
No, I can't say I have.
Oh. She was a lot of fun, but could get kind of volatile. But very sharp, very sharp. I think the two of you were an item?
Wait, what?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, that's kind of the context in which I seem to remember her introducing you.
That doesn't sound like me.
I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest, Mac. I barely remember, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that I think you and Viara were together, at least maybe briefly, or maybe she thought so. I don't know. Sometimes she could get a little bit. I will tell you. I'll tell you. I mean, sometimes she could get a little bit presumptuous about it, things like that, you know?
I mean, huh. It's just kind of weird because, I was always told that, or I always thought that I was hanging around with Vor all the time. But I didn't really think I would be dating anyone just because you'd be getting into so much trouble.
He shrugs. I don't think I know Vor. But maybe. I don't know. That sounds slightly familiar. Maybe I'll remember her. But, yeah, so, right, Viara. So, yeah, she was kind of a troublemaker. So, I couldn't tell you what the specifics were if you were together. Maybe that was kind of an opposites attract thing? I don't know. But yeah, she yeah, Viara, I think is if I'm remembering right. Well, these days I haven't really been able to keep in touch with her very much. She had kind of her own thing she wanted to do, and you know, we both had a few. We got along well because we both had some issues kind of in common, that we sort of similarly that we didn't we you know sort of had from our upbringing, that our different upbringings were kind of had certain things that we were not too happy about, and so we kind of bonded a little bit over that. But she my understanding is she ran off to the gold.
VR run off to the gold.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know how much you want to know about her.
Mac is actually sitting down there now, taking notes, and he will actually pull out a list, his black book of spirits, and he's just going to start leafing through there to see if he knows any of them that reside or have a connection to the gold. I don't think he does, though.
I don't think so. I not most of the spirits I think you've encountered have been like you've dealt with have been like from the green. And I think trying to think if there have been any you've interacted with from the there are a few that you've interacted with early on that were either from the pale or from the blue or from actually that place where technically I think from the blue, but they are sort of more death aspected spirits. So yeah, you've interacted with spirits from the green, the blue, and the pale. I know that much. I don't think you've interacted with any gold spirits.
No.
And of course, you know, silver, because angels. And if you've ever summoned any demons, then possibly the red. But
we haven't gotten that far yet.
No, not yet. But with a little hard work and determination.
with more reckless decision making, we will get there yet.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, she'll say, yeah, if she, yeah, I think she ran off to the gold, possibly the night side of the gold, actually. Because she liked to live wild, I can tell you that. But yeah, so I mean, if you want to track her down or something, then that's, I mean, that up to you. But that's probably where she is. And then again, that's Viara.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, let me get you that thing. See if I've got that thing of Hester's. And so she'll get up, and she will go to another room, and Jim is going to draw a card. Really? Okay. I was just drawing a card to see what kind of object she was going to get. But apparently the cards have something of a sense of humor today. Just today? Well, no, not just today. So lo and behold, I have drawn the devil. Why? Why does this happen?
Oh, okay.
How does this happen? For what reason? Let's review the devil real quick. Temptation, lies, charm, persuasion, words. The nemesis of secrets. The prince of lies, the devil. Of course, there are many devils. Their commonality is their need to corrupt the world around them. Charming, sexy liars that seek to draw mortals into their own evil. So... Okay. So she's going to come back with this thing wrapped in cloth, which she's going to set on the table. And she says, okay, so important thing to note here. This does have a bit of some resonance on it. All right. I was trying to figure out what to do with it. If you decide you're welcome to hold on to it if you want. If you decide you don't want to hold on to it anymore at some point, then if you want, you can bring it back. But I'm gonna be also, I'll be perfectly frank, I'll be happy to have it out of the apartment. Out of the apartment building. And she slowly is unwrapping it. And what you see is a silver-looking tiara. It's not actually made of silver. It's a cheaper metal, but it is a tiara with a couple of sort of cheaper gems in it. And as part of the design of the tiara, there are a couple of spikes that come up on the sides to form these slightly curved horns.
Kinky.
Yeah. I kind of held on to this because, well, I ended up with it. But it was hers. And I kind of held on to it because I just want to make sure that whoever's looking after it is... I kind of wanted to keep an eye on it, to be honest, in case something weird happens with it. It hasn't. But if... And I'm not going to say this is like a big responsibility or anything like that, because I mean, I don't know. I don't, if it's got any kind of the resonance on it that I think comes off of it is pretty small, so it's not. I don't think it's going to do much of anything necessarily, but it might be enough for you to get a fix, or for someone to get a fix that you go to. Might help you. Might also give you something over. If you have any other rituals or anything you want to do, feel free, because that is someone from a different life that I really want nothing to do with. And she will slide it over to you.
That's fair. He will pack that safely into one of his plentiful pockets.
And she will nod as you do so. And let me see here. There it is. And she says, and so yeah, so she will nod and just basically Do you hang out and have more tea, or do you decide that it is time to depart?
Yeah, he will continue to make this a social call.
Cool.
He might need to come back later and doesn't want to burn a bridge.
Yeah, she seems very welcoming. You chat for a bit. You find out she's involved with a number of local charities. So she does a decent amount of that. Apparently, she's more connected than you probably initially thought she was. You get the sense she actually owns this apartment building.
Hey, something in common, sorta.
Oh yeah, that's true. She is also a landlord. Yes. So she will sometimes go to galas and things like that. But yeah, apparently there is a. She also invites you to to a charity ball that's going to be happening in a few weeks if you want to go to that.
That sounds interesting.
Just as she's doing it kind of in. She works sometimes in conjunction with, as it turns out, the Rat Parliament, to try to help clean up the streets and kind of help repair Saturnine, because there are still so many hate cysts lying open. There are still so many areas that are still basically rubble, and it's a thing where there's. That apparently the Rat Parliament also tries to help out with that from time to time, because the Rat Parliament manages does a lot of sanitation management across the city, so she kind of is working with them on this one, and so they're probably going to be over the next few weeks. She's going to be going to a few different couple of little missions to go out and help clean up around some of those destroyed areas.
Sure.
Things like that. But yeah, then after that it's gonna be leading up to the charity ball. But yeah, so you hang out and you have tea and you have a nice amount of conversation, and she seems very pleased to try to get to know you again.
Well, that's pleasant.
And I think that is probably where we're going to zoom out. Is there anything else you wanted to take care of on this particular little journey?
No, I think that's pretty much it. So we'll probably end up going back to the Hall of Records to start researching gold sun spirits, and then I think that by what I was kind of hoping that would also happen by rearranging the Jenga tower a bit was to open up a few house secrets as well.
Ooh, okay.
I was actually just thinking about that the other day. It's like, what if they just were configured in a specific way that would end up opening up a secret?
Huh.
And then if he discovers it, I feel that once Mac discovers that, he is going to be spending endless hours trying to unlock more secrets by rearranging all the blocks.
Excellent. Let me see if I can find the, let's see. Augments. They can advance their house instead with, players advance their characters. They can advance their house instead with augments. They're also known as house secrets. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you can probably, if you wanting to do as as part of an advancement, or was there something else you had in mind?
We can talk about it offline. But,
okay, sure.
I think it was. Does it take Crux, or does it take the other thing?
Let me see.
Acumen.
Yeah, Acumen. Yeah. I knew things once. Hang on. Just want to make sure I turn to the page so that I do not forget. afterward. Okay. Wait, what? Let me find that word again. Because apparently... Oh, that's in the way. Okay. All right. It's in the way, page 84. Okay. So I'll have... Dare I open yet another PDF? Why not? We'll find out why not in a moment. Okay. Got it. All right, there we go. Okay. So yeah, I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and we'll look this over in a little bit and sort of figure out kind of what we want to do with it. Awesome. All right. Well then, that brings us to the end of this session. Do you feel as though you've gotten any joy or despair today?
No.
Okay.
Confusion, which isn't necessarily despair.
Fair enough.
I also have 4 despair already, so...
Oh, yeah. You get weighed down with so much despair. You have to be careful. Understandable. Well then, let's go ahead and then just get to our outros. Let me just check my thing here. All right, good. And I guess just tell us where we can find you and any final thoughts you have about this session.
Hi, my name is Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino4K. What did I think about this session? I think it was good to get back into the swing of roleplay and be able to at least give some direction to Mac's continued journey. He's sort of still flailing around trying to figure out how to balance what's going on with the group, but also chase down the a bunch of folks who are both trying to kill him and at the same time, I guess figure out more about what's going on with his past. I think the fact that he's sort of sitting there thinking that wait, I was an apostate before I left, is sort of like, oh, did I just become a sellout? Did Mac become a sellout? Because it sounds kind of like he did. So anyway, let's see. Things to plug. Next week is the start of a lot of activity over on the Wandering Society channel, which is twitch.tv/WanderingSOC. Some things that you can look forward to there. Next Tuesday is the start of tomorrow on Revelation 3, a game that is GM'd by a friend of this channel, Sarah of Swords, and a really cool cast of rather insane characters living on a dystopian space station. So be sure to tune in for that. I am one of the producers behind that, so it'll be me sitting at the tech station pressing the go live button. And then next Thursday, also on the Wandering Society channel, should be the start of our new season of Sentinels, our superhero game. And then Friday, you'll see both myself and Jim there at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, also on the Wandering Society channel for the first episode of season 2 of the Dresden Files, titled Spare Change. And then we have Scions is at 1 p.m. on Saturday, also on the Wandering DM channel. And is that enough? I think that's enough. And then back over here next Saturday, I think is probably going to be another development session with another one of the castmates. So I'll be tuning in for that, and you should too.
Yay! Excellent. Yes, absolutely. And once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and various other things. Yes, indeed, we are doing more development sessions before we get back into the swing of things. Provided things work out, actually, we're going to have another one in a couple of days. We will have Danielle in Monday evening with Vormira Vanis, and we'll see what she is up to. And then, yes, on I believe it's this Friday. We're doing the we're doing Dresden. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. So back over on Wandering Society, we get back to our Dresden Files campaign, and I am very excited to see what happens. So very much that. And yeah, probably here once again Saturday night we should be doing, with any luck, another development session as well, as we're gearing up to return fully to the actuality. So very much looking forward to that. And really looking forward to all manner of things happening. Also on this channel there will be a short campaign starting in February, but I shall plug more about that as we get closer to it. But we're talking about it more, and things are getting exciting, so very much looking forward to it. But in any case, when we hit the end card, we're going to go ahead and send a raid over to somebody. Probably looks like we're going to head over to, I think Devil's Luck Gaming is streaming right now. A couple other folks are also streaming, so we'll see kind of where we land. And sort of determine what we want to do. RF Chaos is streaming. We might go there. Mishi is streaming. We might go there. We'll see what's happening. But we will do that when we hit the end card. So if you feel like going and saying hi to them with us, feel free to hang on, and we shall do that momentarily. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you all of a sudden. Farewell.